Hello, students. In this section, we shall talk about mass transfer resistance, oxygen transfer coefficients. These two phenomena are very important for the scaling up of the bioreactors. If you look into the definition, what does mass transfer means? Mass transfer describes the transport of mass from one point to the another point, and it is one of the main subject of transport phenomena. This is a common definition when we say what is mass transfer. Okay, it is a transport of mass from one point to the another point, and this phenomena is called as a mass transport phenomena. So this in bioreactor, when we come to fermentation technology, mass transfer may take place in a single phase. Single phase means it can be either fully liquid phase or gas phase, only one single phase, or over the phase boundaries in the multiple phase. It can be multiple phase means like solid liquid or liquid gas. They are multiple phase. So they may not be immiscible with each other or miscible with each other. Okay, so there is a boundary between these two phases. So mass transfer can occur either in single phase or in the multiple phase system, whether it is miscible or immiscible. Now, one of the important point of this mass transfer is the mixing. Why? Mixing reduces or eliminates temperature or concentration gradients to ensure good dispersion of the multiple phases. So when I'm using multiple phases, mixing is important. See here, mixing is going on. Why? It reduces the temperature or the concentration gradient. So when this temperature and concentration gradient are eliminated, you get a very good dispersion. What is concentration gradient? For example, see here, if so here, suppose say you have so many particles here, and here you have less particle. So always the movement of the particles occur from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration until an equilibrium is reached. This is known as concentration gradient, right? So this mixing reduces this concentration gradient. Only then you will get a good dispersion, uniform dispersion. Is this uniform? No. But here you see it will be uniform because of the mixing. So whenever there is no proper mixing, that is improper or poor mixing may result in low reaction rate, low yield, poor selectivity, or increased concentration of impurities, which will increase the cost of manufacturing significantly. So, can you scale up in such a condition? Can you produce your material in higher concentration? That is called scale up. No, it is not possible because this is all our negative effect. So, there should be good mixing. So, whenever we talk about mass transfer, the first definition what we told is of two types. One is the convection mass transfer and other is a molecular diffusion mass transfer. So the diffusion refers to the movement of the molecule from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Now what should I do? I should destroy this concentration gradient. I don't want such type of concentration gradient. I want equal dispersion. So to bring about equal dispersion and to destroy this concentration gradient, what I require is the mixing. So another phenomena is the convection mass transfer. So convection mass transfer is the mass transfer that occurs in the presence of bulk fluid motion. Whenever the fluid are in the bulk and the motion of the particles is occurring, that is called as the bulk fluid motion. I shall explain this in and next slide. So mass transfer, okay, the mass transfer under the influence of concentration gradient system, gas liquid mass transfer is extremely important in bioprocessing. This is the most commonly used one. Gas liquid phase is the extremely important. And for mass transfer, you require this. You require concentration gradient. And suppose say if you're using aerobic organism, oxygen must be first transferred from the gas bulk. Okay. So then into the cells. So your oxygen should be transferred from your gas bulks then into the cells. But the main problem is the solubility of oxygen within the broth is poor. So what happens? If this is the reactor, this is the medium. Inside the medium, what is present? Your organism is present. That is the cell. And if the cell is an aerobic organism, okay, it requires oxygen. And who is providing this oxygen? This gas bubble is providing. From where it comes? It comes through the sparger. Okay, but the problem with the oxygen is it has very poor solubility in the broth. That point you have to keep it in your mind. So the solubility of the oxygen within the broth is very poor, and the broth are the aqueous system, that is your media. Enhancement of gas liquid mass transfer becomes the crucial step in the aerobic fermentation. So in my aerobic fermentation, the mass transfer between the gas and the liquid is a very crucial step. Okay, under the aerobic microorganism, the gas to liquid mass transfer is very important for continuous diffusion to happen. So whenever the continuous diffusion should happen, what you have to do is you have to supply the material to the region of higher concentration and remove it from the region of lower concentration and keep the diffusion process in a continuous. So what should I do is whenever there is a aerobic organism and the phase is gas and liquid phase, what we should do is we should maintain a continuous diffusion. You have to keep on supplying the materials, the growth material to the region of the higher concentration. Okay, so I keep on adding the materials, supply the materials at the region of higher concentration, and I should keep on removing the from it from the lower region, lower concentration. As I'm removing and as I'm adding, what is happening? The diffusion is kept in a continuous process. That is, I'm going on adding, I'm going on removing from the lower concentration. So it is a continuous process. So continuous diffusion is exploited for mass transfer operation in bioreaction system. So this continuous diffusion is very well studied and it should be optimized for your bioreactions operation. The, to quantify the diffusion, we apply Fick's law of diffusion. Now, if I have to study the diffusion, this is what all I said is theoretical. By mathematical also you can do. And how is that? It is by using the Fick's law of diffusion. So, what are the factors which influence the mass transfer in a bioreactor? This is the next question. You're telling there is a mass transfer. Okay, and we saw that how the mass transfer is occurring. But there should be certain factors, right, which is influencing. So, mixing efficiency is one of the most significant factors affecting the performance of the scale up of the bioreactor. If you do not mix properly, what happens? It leads to all this: low reaction rate, low yield, poor selectivity, increased impurities, and finally, the cost of your manufacturing increases. And also, the another factor, if this is one factor, the another factor is the gas bubble size. What is the size of the gas bubble? And what is the time of the residency of this bubble in the reactor? So, this mixing efficiency or your gas bubble size or the residency times of this gas bubble is all dependent on your impeller, that is the stirrer. Okay, like I drew, no, like this in your fermenters, the impeller. There are different type of impeller, and what type of impeller you are using, what is the speed at what you are using, and the location. So the mass transfer coefficient value generally increases as the tip speed increases. So the mass transfer coefficient can increase with the tip speed increases. So what is your mass transfer coefficient? We already said that it is represented as KLA. Okay, it is represented as KLA. What is KL? It describes the transport of the oxygen and gas into the liquid. So my oxygen, where is my oxygen present? It is present in the gas bubble, and it has to move into the liquid phase. This is known as your KL. Okay, so what is your A? A is the glass liquid exchanger area per unit volume. Okay, so your gas and liquid exchange area per unit volume is known as A, and this gives you the mass transfer coefficient. These two, that is the transport of oxygen from gas to the liquid phase, and then the gas liquid exchange area, what is happening, this area per unit volume is your mass transfer coefficient. So why this diffusion is so important? Diffusion is important, as we already spoke, because it has all, if there is no diffusion, ultimately the one point we can tell is it is going to cost you very effective. Okay, that your cost effectiveness becomes very high. Cost effective high means I'm talking in the terms of the investment money. Okay, if simply if your reactor mixing the condition is not proper, okay, then automatically what happens, your substrates will not be formed because of the all this phenomena. Your substrates will not, products will not be formed, ultimately you will end up in the loss. So the mixing is very important. Turbulency in the fluid produces bulk mixing to a maximum up to small eddy formation. See, this is not a bioreactor, but this is what is turbulency, because I was always telling the word turbulence and giving you the example of the flight. When the flight is moving, suddenly if it shakes, that jerking, some people might have felt this when they are traveling. Okay, so here you can easily see this is the turbulency. What is happening? This is okay. So this is the bulk mixing. When this turbulency is there, it is very good, and it leads to the eddy formation. What is eddy formation means? See, the water or any liquid flows in one direction, but eddy means you say that ocean current, water current, right? Similarly here, it is the fluid current. It flows in the opposite direction from the normal flow. Because it is flowing in the opposite direction than the normal flow, that is why it is creating this turbulence, that current. Okay, within the small eddies the flow is largely streamlined so that further mixing occurs by diffusion of fluid component. Now there is lot of eddy formation because of the uh, different flow of the liquid in your bioreactors, and this will in turn help in what, forming the turbulency. Apart from the turbulency, diffusion is also occurring, and hence mass transfer is occurring. So mixing on a molecular scale therefore completely relies on the diffusion as the final step of the mixing. This is an important point. So we told about the Fick's law. What is this Fick's law is? We are not going to go into the mathematical of the Fick's law, but just remember, now whatever I spoke, I can, instead of explaining this like this, I can give a mathematical statement for diffusion. So Fick's laws of diffusion are mathematical statement describing how particles under random, okay, here you can see, under the random thermal motion tend to spread from one region, that is a region of higher concentration, to a region of lower concentration, to equalize the concentration in the both the region. This law also describes the relationship between the rate of diffusion and the three factors that affect the diffusion. So what are the factors that affect the diffusion is, that is, it is the area, okay, the surface area. So it is your surface area which affects the rate of diffusion, and the concentration differences, and the concentration differences of what, of your particle. Okay, so surface area, particle, con- concentration difference of the particle. Okay, and then it is also inversely proportional to the thickness of the membrane. So thickness of your membrane, these all factors affect the diffusion. So your second law, what it tells, it is derived from the first law. It, to predict how diffusion causes change in the concentration with respect to time. So diffusion is happening, right? Here it has happened. What happens to the diffusion with respect to time? That is what your second law is talking about. So Planck's first law, movement of particles from high to low concentration is directly proportional to the concentration gradient, and it depends on the surface area, concentration difference in the particle, and the thicknesses of the membrane. Your second law is derived from the first law. It tells that when there is a concentration gradient occurring, the relationship between the change in the concentration of the particles at a time, okay, how diffusion causes change the concentration with respect to time. What is the concentration that has occurred at a particular time? That is your second law. So now we shall go into a little bit deeper explanation about the mass transfer, okay, about the diffusion. Now suppose say, um, in a bioreactor, if this is your bioreactor, okay, suppose say it has a nutrient, and there is organisms, okay, these are the organisms which are, let me draw the organism like this, these are the organism, And then what I'm doing, these are aerobic organism, I have to spurge it with oxygen. This is the air bubble. So which is the oxygen rich area? This bubble is the oxygen rich area. So your oxygen, your oxygen rich area is your bubble, because that is what is having the oxygen. And which is your oxygen low area? It is your media, right? This is high and this is low. So is there a concentration gradient? Yes, that is a concentration gradient. What is the concentration gradient? That is the movement of the particle from the higher region to the lower region. So the oxygen from which is present in the gas has to go into the media and reach the organism. So is diffusion present? Yes, diffusion is present. And if diffusion is present, mass transfer, is it present? Yes, the mass transfer is present. So, students, look at this picture what we have drawn here. See, if you want to increase your mass transfer, if you want to increase your mass transfer, you should increase the area, okay? And you have to increase the concentration gradient, okay? So, my mass transfer is dependent on the increase in the area. It is also dependent on the increase in this concentration gradient. So diffusivity is constant. So your diffusion will be constant here. So your diffusion is constant. Suppose say it depends on otherwise another condition, if the temperature, pressure, other materials we are using, if that changes, will your diffusion be constant? No, it will also change. So if you want to increase your mass transfer, you should increase the area, you should increase the concentration gradient. So the diffusivity is constant. At constant condition, when all the conditions are constant, your diffusibility will be constant. But if the temperature, pressure, and material keeps changing, even this diffusion constant also will change. So if suppose say if you have a large bubble, okay, you have a large bubble and you have a smaller bubble, which is better? Smaller bubble is better, okay. Small bubbles are good because of the larger surface area. They have large surface area and helps the system to gain more mass transfer or diffusion of oxygen. Okay, so whenever there is a bigger bubble or and a smaller bubble, remember that always your smaller bubble is good, because that will provide the more surface area. More the surface area, more is your mass transfer, and more will be the diffusion. What diffusion? Diffusion of your oxygen. Because why? Bubbles carry the oxygen, because you're spurging gas. And what is that gas? The gas is nothing but the oxygen. Okay, so it will be in the form of bubbles. The bubbles are all carrying the oxygen molecule, and smaller the oxygen molecule, more the surface area, more is the mass transfer, more is the diffusivity, that is the transfer of the oxygen from the region of higher concentration to the lower concentration. So You have to remember a theory called as a film theory. FILM, film theory. This is known as the film theory of mass transfer, right? So, even if two phases are in turbulent motion, mass transfer occurs by diffusion. So, if two phases are in turbulent, suppose say a gas phase and a liquid phase, they are in turbulent, like such type of turbulent, high mixing is happening, still mass transfer can occur. That is, diffusion can occur. Suppose say there are two phases like this. I'll write it as a aqueous phase or an inorganic phase, and this I will write it as an organic phase. These are two phases, right? Organic and inorganic, they are immiscible, and since they are immiscible, there is a point where they are in contact with each other, and this point is known as the boundary. Okay, this is known as the boundary. That is the contact between the aqueous and the organic phase. So there is no turbulence in this region. So there is no turbulence in the boundary. No turbulence. So I can say that the boundary is 0. No turbulence there. It is the meeting point of these two phases, your aqueous phase and organic phase. This boundary is. So there is no turbulence. So it is 0. And also, what is formed? No, fluid films are formed. This is the film of the organic phase, and this is the film of your inorganic phase. So you have a boundary, you have two films, and you have your two phases, aqueous phase and the organic phase. And these fluids are relatively, these films are relatively stagnant. Okay, so I'll write here only the films are stagnant. You know what is the meaning? They don't move, stagnant. Stagnant. Okay, my films are stagnant. If I want to transfer, suppose say I want to transfer a compound A to this into this organic phase. I want to transfer this A, which is an aqueous phase, to this phase. How will it happen? So A is well mixed here in your aqueous phase. A is well mixed in the aqueous phase because of the turbulency in this region. Okay, so this region has turbulency, and this region will also have the turbulency. So your compound is well mixed here. So it moves freely up till this film, which is a stagnant. So your turbulent is not going to help here. When it comes here, there is no turbulence, it is a stagnant. So now, though it is stagnant, A wants to go into this phase. How it will go? It will go through a process known as diffusion. From a region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. So see here, from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. This occurs by diffusion. Since the film is stagnant, so diffusion happens among the inorganic and the organic films. So again, when it comes here, okay, again, see here, from the region of higher concentration to lower concentration, here diffusion occurs and it reaches the organic phase. So in the organic phase again there is bulk turbulence, that is there is well mixing. So the movement of A again occurs through the turbulency. So wherever there is turbulency, there is no mass transfer. What is mass transfer? We told mass transfer is a convection, mass transfer and the diffusion. Was there diffusion here? No, because there was turbulency, they moved. So whenever there is turbulency, remember, whenever there is turbulency, there is no mass transfer. The compound can move there easily because of the turbulency. But the stagnant region requires diffusion and the boundary region. But your stagnant region and your boundary region, was there any turbulency? No. So there is mass transfer there. Why? Because diffusion occurred there. So remember this point. Wherever there is turbulency, there is no mass transfer. So here and here, no mass transfer. But the stagnant region requires diffusion. It required diffusion. That is the boundary region. So there is mass transfer. How is this phase? Boundary is equilibrium. Always this boundary we say it is in equilibrium. The reason is because the solubility, suppose if A compound is soluble in aqueous, okay, it may have a low solubility in the organic phase. That is why the system is in the equilibrium. Hope this point is clearly understood. Okay, the mass transfer phenomena. What is mass transfer and where this occurs, that you have to be thorough with it. Or I'll draw like this only and show you. Once again, x1, this is my x1, the film is y1 and the boundary is z, and this is the film 2 and this is my x2. Okay, so x1, then I have y1, then I have z, and then I have y2, and then I have x2. And what is my compound? My compound is A. My compound A is present in x1. X1 is what? Aqueous phase. And it is what? Bulk. Bulk is what? Convection. Okay. So bulk, and what is here? Turbulency is here. If there is turbulence is present, there is no mass transfer. Easily they can move. No, turbulence is there. You saw the picture. So from x1 it came to, your compound came to y1. Y1 is what? It is the film of the x1 region, aqueous phase. What did we tell? It is stagnant fellow. This fellow is stagnant. Okay, and this is a film, stagnant film. Now what happened? So is there turbulency? There is no turbulency here. There is no turbulency here. So how did it move? It moved by, here A moves through Y by diffusion. It moved through a process known as a diffusion. So turbulency is not going to help in this region. Diffusion happens from the region of higher concentration to lower concentration. What is your Z? Z is your boundary between the two phases, and this is in equilibrium. It is in equilibrium. So that is why we told it is zero. 0. So now my A has moved from here to here, okay, because of the process of diffusion. Again here it moves because of diffusion, and it moves to this region. What is this? Y is my film of organic phase, and this is also a stagnant. If it is, this is also, it is stagnant, that is there is no turbulency here. If there is no turbulency, so how it has to move? It has to move only through by diffusion. Once it reaches x2, x2 is what? Bulk. What is bulk? It has turbulency, so it will have a free movement. A will have a free movement. This is how your mass transfer occurs. So wherever there is turbulency, there is no mass transfer. Okay, there is no mass transfer here. There is no mass transfer here because they can move. I showed you the picture. They can easily move there. There is no mass transfer resistance. It's not stopping. That is why it is called as no mass transfer resistance. So in the boundary region, the only region which provides the resistance to mass transfer. So this region will be having mass transfer resistance because it is in equilibrium, it is a zero, and the films are also stagnant. They will not allow the A to simply freely pass through it, but A component will still pass through it because of the concentration gradient, which is nothing but your mass transfer from the region of high concentration to the lower concentration. So in turbulency, there is no mass transfer resistance, whereas in your Z, the boundary, the equilibrium state, there is mass transfer resistance because the films are also stagnant and Z is also in the equilibrium. You move by yourself. How you're going to move? I'll move by diffusion. That is the principle behind it. This is what is known as the mass transfer. Okay, we will stop here. Or just we'll finish off this part. Okay, role of diffusion in bioprocessing. Mass transfer across the phase boundary, the same one. Okay, so the mass transfer between the phases often occurs in the bioprocess. What is bioprocess? Your fermentation or your bioreactor. That procedure is known as bioprocess. So where and all mass transfer across phase boundary, that is mass transfer between phases, occur often where oxygen transfer from the gas bubble to the fermentation broth. So from the oxygen from the gas bubble to the fermentation broth. So if this is my gas bubble, okay, from this bubble, I'll write it as oxygen only, okay, to the broth. This is all broth, your media, right? There your mass transfer will occur. Here mass transfer will occur. Product recovery from the aqueous to organic phase. When you're recovering your product from your aqueous to organic phase, okay, there mass transfer will occur. Nutrient transfer from the liquid media into the cell. So nutrient is what? Your broth only. So from your broth to your microorganism or any cells, there mass transfer will occur. So here mass transfer will occur, mass transfer here also. So the fluid velocity near the phase interference phase is significantly decreased. Diffusion becomes crucial for mass transfer across the phase interface. This is the important point. So oxygen bubble to the broth, mass transfer occurs. From the broth to the microorganism, mass transfer occur. While recovering your product from your aqueous phase to the organic phase, mass transfer occurs. We shall conclude here and continue in the next section.